This morning, I'm back to a game I often play in this part of the Southwest. It involves looking out across the red rock hoodoos and twisted canyons from some high place like this one, picking a point 20 or 30 miles distant, and then trying to imagine a walking route to get there. It's ridiculously complicated, yet no matter which maze of arroyos and canyons I pick, my instinct is to choose a path that, whenever possible, hopscotches between clusters of ponderosa, trees that show themselves easily, what with their soft green canopies shimmering in the sun. I know well how beautiful those open groves would be, their tall, clean, cinnamon-colored trunks offering up an almost motherly comfort to the hard-scrabbled traveler, especially on searing hot days like this one promises to be, when the ponderosa forest might well be what keeps that sun from eating you alive. I've come on this trip to witness a vanishing, a human-caused disappearance of these very ponderosa trees, and hundreds of millions more from New Mexico to California. Starved of water and then taken down by insects and disease, or burned into oblivion by repeated abnormally intense wildfires, much of what is now ponderosa forest is turning into permanent grasslands and shrublands. Even before the devastating droughts of the early 2000s, fire ecologists declared that the speed at which forests were disappearing in the region to be nearly unprecedented, and, at the same time, that the size of high-severity burns in southwestern ponderosa pine forests were the worst since the start of the modern climate era some 9,000 years ago. Even under the most optimistic estimates of natural regeneration, wrote researchers in Fire Ecology, large, high-severity fire patches are likely to remain without forest cover for many decades to centuries. One study in the prestigious journal Nature Climate Change predicted that 72% of all evergreen forests in the Southwest could die off by 2050, with many more likely to disappear by the end of the century. Here, then, could be the first post-climate change landscape in America. In 2003, about the time droughts and wildfires were beginning to pile up in the West, Australian philosopher Glenn Albrecht coined the word solastalgia, melding the Latin for comfort with the word for pain. It speaks to what Albrecht saw as a kind of homesickness, a deep unease born out of the sense that one's home landscape is unraveling. This 1,500-mile journey is an attempt to better understand how such an unraveling came to happen in the American Southwest. What could we have done differently? What can we do now? Also, given the extraordinary aesthetic appeal of these forests, the love affair they've sparked in millions, what will be the shape of the hole in our hearts when they've gone?